Explore the latest innovations at breweries across America.
We actually have a greater mission beyond just the liquid in the glass or the food that's on the plate.
Plus, the best workout for every Zodiac sign.
I see a lot of power lifters that are tourists.
But first, how an HD antenna can save you money.
And the scan will identify every channel that's available in your area.
It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes.
And I'm Christina Guerrero. Okay, right now you may be watching The List online or through a cable or satellite provider.
You may even be watching us over the air, OTA as they call it.
Word to the wise though, if you ditched OTA back in the day, you might be holding on to some old ideas that no longer apply.
Debunking common over-the-air myths is our featured story at the top of the list. Netflix still mails out DVDs. Around 2 million households still use dial-up internet. And there are even people who, wait for it, knit. Hey, by the time you shear your sheep and make something with 2 sticks, I've already returned the sweater I ordered on Amazon. The only thing crazier?
More than 8 million antennas are sold each year in the United States.
John Marks is the Chief Research Officer at Scripps Networks, which means he can probably get me fired. So I'm going to try to understand this whole using antennas for OTA TV thing. What's that even mean?
OTA means over the air, and it's free TV that's been around for more than 75 years.
If I wanted 75-year-old technology, I'd hand crank my projector so I could see the latest talkies. I mean, what's the point?
Antenna owners pay no monthly fee, and they're actually more satisfied with their television package.
Well, now you're talking my language. So we're knocking down some over-the-air TV myths that might be preventing you from getting the most bang for your entertainment buck. Myth number 1, that antennas are expensive, bulky, and hard to install.
That is absolutely no longer the case. Indoor antennas are available for as little as $15 or $20 and can sit right on the same table that a TV sits on, or it could be wall mounted right next to the TV set, and it's plug and play.
Okay, you win that round, but I bet you only get a few channels, cuz gather round kids, it's story time. In olden days, everyone watched televisions the size of a Tesla that could only pull in the 3 big national networks. The end.
But because of the digital transition in 2009, an over-the-air television station could compress multiple channels into the same spectrum.
So what used to be, say, Channel 7 now has sub-channels like 7.2, 7.3, and so on. And there are entirely new channels, too.
You can pull down 30, 40, 50 channels depending on where you live.
Wait a sec, I remember the days of tinfoil, rabbit ears, and my dad making me hold yoga positions while touching the TV. So it sounds like broadcast quality is lousy and hard to lock in.
Over-the-air channels are high definition, so the signal could be as good as your TV set allows it to be.
And how hard is it to find channels?
You do a scan, which is pushing a couple buttons on your remote control, and the scan will identify every channel that's available in your area.
Okay, but it seems like people watching over-the-air TV must be technophobes.
They are just as likely to have smart TVs, smartphones, tablets, and gaming systems even. So there's essentially no difference in terms of technology ownership and technology use for antenna owners versus everyone else.
OTA users also usually have streaming subscriptions too.
Most homes have multiple streaming services. The single biggest difference is that antenna owners pay less for their television package, and they're actually more satisfied than cable or satellite owners.
Paying less for higher satisfaction sounds good to me. Busting over-the-air myths is at the top of the list.
Beer is a staple of happy hour. However, for many years, the brewing process has put a frown on the faces of environmentalists. But recently, many brewers have figured out a way to make a great brew without giving the planet a hangover. Jimmy's checking out eco-friendly breweries across America.
While it's fun to tip back a beer or two, the manufacturing process burns through a lot of natural resources, a fact that's not lost on a new generation of brewers. Here are 3 eco-conscious breweries across America. Let's start by tapping into Arizona Wilderness Brewing Company in Gilbert.
Drink like you care is a call to action.
That motto is a challenge to themselves, their suppliers, and their customers.
It's an initiative to educate and remind people that the way that they consume sets a standard for people who are creating the products.
One of the results is a brew called This Beer Saves Water, which uses locally grown barley and drought-tolerant hops. That puts less of a strain on the Dirty River.
We actually have a greater mission beyond just the liquid in the glass or the food that's on the plate.
Everything they use to serve food is either compostable or made from recycled materials. Next, head east to Wicked Weed Brewing in Asheville, North Carolina.
Getting our employees engaged through our internal team specifically, we call the Green Freaks, which is our sustainability team.
They focus on recycling, water savings, and waste diversion.
Last year, we were able to save 12% of the water used in our brewing and packaging processes, and our goal was 5%.
They also have a robust composting program.
Right now, we're right around about a 99% waste diversion rate.
They also created a beer called Appalachia. The proceeds go to the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy.
We're planted something like 6,000 trees up there.
Let's close the tab with a visit to Athletic Brewing in Stratford, Connecticut.
Our goal has been to have our brewing facilities have as little impact as possible.
The facility is powered by solar. Their ultimate goal is to be off the grid.
The biggest way Athletic Brewing is a good steward to the environment is our 2 for the Trails program.
This program donates 2% of all sales to trail and park maintenance across the country and building projects like urban bike parks.
That grant program grew to over $1 million last year. So we had 66 recipients across 35 states last year.
Let's drink to Mother Nature with eco-friendly breweries across America.
Are you getting bored with your Stairmaster, your jogging routine, your CrossFit class? Well, maybe it's time for a change, one that suits the person you really are. Hadi D. Jamal has your perfect workout based on your Zodiac sign.
Do you dread your workout class? Well, it might be time to switch up your routine, and why not look to the stars for guidance?
Movement is something that should add pleasure to your life. Everybody likes something different.
So astrologer and author of Body Astrology, Claire Gallagher, assigns movement gestures to each sign.
It's a broader idea where if we give each sign a movement gesture, they can fill out the details of that gesture with whatever movement they like, but the gesture kind of guides them.
She's giving us insight to signs from each element. Starting with fire sign Sagittarius.
It's a mutable fire sign, which means it likes to be on the go. It likes variety. It likes things to be always kind of exciting. And so the gesture that I chose for this sign is locomotion.
So this sign might enjoy
different types of yoga every day, or exploring a new city on foot, or jogging. Sagittarius just kind of needs a steady diet of variety, if you will, when it comes to their exercise.
Now we're breezing along to our air sign, Libra.
Libra governs homeostatic balance in the body, and that's like a huge orchestration of hormones, ups and downs, etc.
So Claire chose symmetry as the movement gesture and recommends partner sports for this sign.
Like playing tennis or grabbing a buddy and doing a social walkabout or a social run. It's really motivated by things that are beautiful, that are fun, and that connect you to other people.
Next, Cancer, a water sign.
Cancer is ruled by the moon, and that's where I get a lot of the movement symbolism for this sign. And so the gesture that I choose for Cancer is intuitive. So the moon represents fluctuation basically in the physical body.
She says these crabs enjoy combat sport or boxing inspired workouts. But
whatever movement you enjoy, that you modify, substitute, and adjust your movement on a day-to-day basis is really important for Cancer.
We're finishing off with an earth sign, Taurus.
So just imagine like that bull archetype carrying a heavy load across a field. That's exactly kind of the image we get for Taurus movement.
So their movement gesture is slow and steady.
They're really into weightlifting. I see a lot of power lifters that are Taurus.
We're moving our bodies in a way that makes us happy, thanks to our Zodiac sign.
Coming up on the list, swiping right on new ways to make dating great.
Get out of your head and be present.
And Marvel's latest superhero is breaking new ground.
This is the first Muslim American superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Plus, see Mario and Luigi like you've never seen them before.
Get a team together and let the games begin.
All that and so much more next.
We're back, and singles, tell me if you can relate. Between acting cool and active listening and then post-game cringing at the stuff you said, dating can be exhausting. We'll take a deep breath. Hattie DeJamal has tips to help take the stress out of dating.
If the idea of dating gives you anxiety, you're not alone.
Yeah, dating has really become this science experiment and stressful thing instead of an excited, joyful time to find your person.
We spoke with adventure dating consultants Scott and Nancy Kiesling to learn how to reduce stress in our dating life. And it starts with friending instead of dating.
When we put the label, and we put a label on everything from our belief system, we give that label a meaning. So when we say, I'm going on a date, all of a sudden we become this other character. We hide things, we put masks on, we don't really bring our authentic self.
So get rid of the label and focus on finding a friend.
And when we go find new friends doing the things that we love to do, that anxiety level drops, the expectation drops, because the belief around it has a different meaning.
Well, and when we're friends with somebody, we won't justify someone's behaviors the way we will when our emotion is tied into dating.
Next, don't fall prey to keyboard courage.
Text messaging has really become the way that people converse in today's society. So it's learning how to start initiating and requesting more in-person contact, right? More phone calls, and starting to allow yourself to set those standards and boundaries right from the get-go. And it actually makes you stand out from the crowd when you start doing that and setting those boundaries. We're used to always texting. Well, we can do a voice memo. We can start stepping in baby steps.
The Kiesling's third tip, connect over an activity you enjoy.
We may say yes to a date to go to sushi, and we don't like sushi. So if we get comfortable with ourselves, right, we call it learning how to fly. First, love yourself. And by doing activities that you love to do, creates an opportunity to meet other friends who love to do what you love to do.
Finally, get out of your head.
When we're on a date, a lot of times we're in that place thinking, could this be the one? Is this that person? And we get into this story, this fairy tale, and it takes us out of the entire experience. So we tell people, get out of your head and be present, because again, how can you get to know somebody if you're in a story about what might be?
We're keeping our dating lives stress-free thanks to these tips.
A lot of kids are starting their school summer break this month. And if they could use a little at-home, family-friendly fun, we found a few new video games coming out this month. Here are 3 that are rated E for everyone. Coming in at number 1, Sonic Origins. It's the classic Sonic games from the original Sega Genesis and Mega Drive consoles. All 4 games wrapped up in one purchase.
That includes Sonic 1, 2, with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD.
Remastered for better picture quality and sound.
This is your chance to experience the beginnings of Sonic on the latest platforms. Now with added content and features.
It drops on the 23rd and will set you back $40. At number 2, MX vs. ATV Legends. 1 to 2 players race off-road on a motocross bike, all-terrain vehicle, or utility terrain vehicle. There are different modes to play, and you can compete online with up to 16 other players from around the world. This one comes out on the 28th for $40. And the third family-friendly video game on our list is only available for the Nintendo Switch. It's Mario Strikers Battle League.
Strike is like soccer. If soccer had an electric fence, no rules, and intense 5v5 battles.
There are no fouls. You can tackle, thrash, and even stomp on your opponent's feet.
The controls are simple, so get a team together and let the games begin.
There are all sorts of special moves to give you an edge, and up to 8 of your friends can play with you in person or online.
Yes, 8 players can shoot their shot on the same system, even using a single Joy-Con controller per player. So get a team together and let the games begin.
You can pick this up on Friday for $60. And those were 3 family-friendly video games that look super fun for everyone. Lots more to come on the list. Stay with us.
We're back. Women! We're superheroes on the daily, practically leaping tall buildings in a single bound. But what I wouldn't give to have a cape and an invisibility superpower every now and then. I'll just have to live vicariously through the superheroines on screen. Teresa Strasser looks at some we'll be seeing soon on the Hot List.
The superhero genre is riding an unprecedented wave of popularity.
Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
It's already been a big year for the MCU, and this summer's gonna get even hotter with a big focus on female-driven stories. Checking out the latest female-driven superhero content is Rotten Tomatoes contributing editor Mark Ellis. Starting off with Ms. Marvel.
Kamala Khan is going to be played by newcomer Iman Vellani as a girl who's in high school who loves gaming and writing fan fiction, but really she dreams of someday having powers like her hero, Captain Marvel.
Are you sure that we can keep that on?
To no mind.
It's a lawsuit.
Great, that'll make Captain Marvel in court. It won't be the first case in the American judiciary to hug it out.
It's also a huge step forward culturally, as this is the first Muslim American superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Good is not a thing you are, Kamala. It is a thing you do.
Catch the first of 6 episodes tomorrow on Disney+. Up next, Thor, Love and Thunder.
The one and only Thor. Oh, spoke too soon. Jane?
She's back. Natalie Portman, this time taking on the role of mighty Thor, holding Mjolnir like she owns it.
This direct sequel to Thor Ragnarok will also star Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, and Christian Bale.
Thor Love and Thunder could set up the future of the MCU. One thing's for sure, we're going to get a whole lot of Guardians of the Galaxy action.
Just look into the eyes of the people that you love. Not me.
This movie releases in theaters on July 8th. And finally, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. She-Hulk, who gets Hulk-like powers after a blood transfusion.
Yes, yes, yes! No, no!
This series will also star Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth.
You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero.
She-Hulk is scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus August 17th. Women superheroes leading the charge on the Hot List. We'll be right back.
It's your life, it's your list. We're celebrating Pride Month. Go to thelisttv.com to learn more.
We're back. June is Pride Month, and to celebrate, we are talking to the people behind the Netflix documentary, A Secret Love. It's all about 2 women who were together for over 70 years while being forced to hide their relationship. Here are their lessons in love.
How long have you guys been together?
65 and a half.
65 and a half years.
Pat Henschel and Terry Donahue were together for several decades.
What she means to me. She means everything.
But since they began dating in the 40s, they had to hide their relationship from their families.
I felt like I was sort of living a lie. I love my mother, but she wouldn't disown me.
The Netflix documentary, A Secret Love, tells their story, and the director of the doc, Terry and Pat's great-nephew, Chris Bolan, says that once he found their journey to finding love, he had to share it.
These 2 older women in their late 80s sharing this love story as if they were still in their 20s, in their late teens. It was just so astounding. A light bulb went off in my head, and I knew I had to make a film about this.
And now he and the film's producers and writers are sharing how we can all learn what love is from Pat and Terry. First, love is courage and perseverance.
So you were pioneers in a time when it wasn't
That's
popular.
right, exactly, in the 40s. You had to be very careful.
Just being vulnerable enough to find love takes courage, but they had to hide everything they felt.
Hearing these stories of them kissing in the middle of dust storms so no one could see them, hiding in churches, running out the back door from their boyfriends, I was just sitting there, in awe.
Next, love is support and acceptance.
Coming out is hard, and it's hard when you're in your teens or your 20s. So to think about somebody putting themselves through that when they're in their 80s.
I'll never forget it. The first time that my great aunt on camera said that she was gay, I just had never heard that. I'd never heard that coming out of her mouth my entire life. None of her biological family had ever heard that.
But once they finally told their families what they'd been hiding from them for years, they were able to get the acceptance they'd always hoped for.
I think love is love, and that's the most important thing.
Finally, love is limitless and conquers all.
This mother was having trouble. Her son was coming out, and she found stuff on his computer about, will people still love me if I'm gay? And the mother reached out to friends to see what can I do? I don't know how to talk to him. And someone suggested they sit down and watch A Secret Love together.
No regrets. I'd do it all over again.
That's what you can learn from A Secret Love.
Wow, what a beautiful love story.
Yeah, and amazing that their great-grandnephew was the one who was able to bring it to light.
Yeah.
Powerful legacy.
Friends, thanks so much for watching.